Last month marked the 167th anniversary of the Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls, New York. WENY's Natalie Abruzzo is live in the studio to tell us more about the birthplace of the women's rights movement. Natalie?
Yes, Ross, it's known as the birthplace of the women's rights movement, but Seneca Falls is not only a thriving town, it's a national treasure.
This is the start of the biggest social movement in American history. This is the place where half the American population met for the first time to fight for their rights. So this is a very exciting place to be.
Stenshorn is referring to the Women's Rights Convention of 1848 in Seneca Falls, New York. 300 people attended the convention, both men and women, and it's where the Declaration of Sentiments was drafted and adopted, outlining resolutions crucial to women's equality.
It lists all of the demands and rights that women are going to fight for within the women's rights movement, and it is basically a version of the Declaration of Independence, but changed to reflect women's issues rather than colonial American issues.
Drafted by Elizabeth Cady Stanton at a planning session in the parlor of Mary Ann McClintock's house, the original table now resides at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. And the Wesleyan Chapel, where the convention was held, went through several owners. It was last operated as a laundromat before becoming a national park and historic site in 1985. And even though it would take 72 years from the time of that convention until the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote was passed, that didn't stop great women throughout our history from accomplishing great things. Just down the road from the site of the first Women's Rights Convention is the National Women's Hall of Fame, honoring over 256 great women of American history, from Amelia Earhart and Eleanor Roosevelt to Harriet Tubman and Elmira native astronaut Eileen Collins.
It is incredibly important for our society to understand that women are contributors and important contributors to the growth of our country and the growth of our economy and the growth of our social life and our culture.
Startling statistics show that only 10% of content in U.S. history books is about women. And students can't name 20 women in history that aren't athletes, celebrities, or first ladies. The Hall is working to change that through its public induction process and its proposed new location at the Knitting Mill. The location is slated to become a state-of-the-art educational venue telling the stories of great American women.
So this mill has significance to Seneca Falls at many levels. They were abolitionists, they were women's rights activists, they were human rights activists. So we have a special bond with this site and are thrilled that this will become the home of the National Women's Hall of Fame.
The National Women's Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held this October and is open to the public. For more information about the historic sites and the hall, head to our website at WENY.com. Reporting in the studio, Natalie Abruzzo, WENY News.